Hi, welcome to my first and only podcast of UMBC's Tiny Desks. Today we have a very special episode of Puppet Philosophy Hour where I sit in the comfort of my bedroom and unravel patriarchy using felt, glue, and puppets that move a little slightly too awkward. And tonight we have the one, the only, the singer whose music feels like being slapped with glitter, and the thesis statement, SOFIA ISELLA. I'm so honored to be here. This place is giving slumber party meets feminist manifesto, and honestly, I feel at home. You know what? That's what the realtor said. Today, we're going to be diving into a few of your songs, so Doll People, Us and Pigs, and Everybody Supports Women. And you've agreed to give us tiny, live, puppet-sized performances. I've tuned my puppet arms. They bend in 0 directions, but it's fine. Art is about limitations. Let's start with my personal favorite, The Doll People. This song feels like a direct commentary on how women are being displayed as objects. They're pretty, fragile, and decorative. Like our purpose is just to be placed, posed, and consumed by the mass media. Exactly. Men, they want the body, but the brain, not convenient. They want art, but not the artist. Pulse, but not agency. That's where Foucault's concept of the docile body becomes very crucial. In Discipline and Punishment, he explains that modern power doesn't just punish bodies, it trains them. We internalize expectations so deeply that we self-regulate, we shrink, we soften, we silence ourselves before anybody else. We learn to perform femininity as a discipline. Your dolls are the perfect metaphor for this. Right. Because dolls are literally posed by someone else. They don't move on their own. They don't speak unless someone scripts them. And the line, our heads can attach, that is basically the gender women's studies version of saying that the patriarchal culture prefers women who are beautiful and incapacitated. Bell Hooks writes about this in The Oppositional Gaze, how women's bodies are rendered visible and consumable, how their subjectivity is erased. Your dolls are bodies without authorship. Yes, and it's not just a cultural message, it becomes bodily. Girls literally learn to sculpt themselves into silence. Exactly. All right, Sophia, now let's give us a little puppet-sized life performance.
The doll people are not men, they are made of ice and glass. Our skin is clay and painted blue, our head can detach. We are statues with a pulse. We are art you can fuck. The doll people are quiet. What is there to say? Art does not interpret itself. They're men with a day to save. We are paintings with legs. We are art you can fuck.
That very last line, we are art you can... I don't think I can say it in this school performance. What do you think? You're right. Is the whole patriarchal fantasy in 6 words. In feminist theory, this is a reduction of women to sexualized aesthetic objects. This is what movie calls to be lookedness of the female body. You turn it into this grotesque display to expose how grotesque it already is. Exactly. If the system objectifies you, calling it what it is becomes both political and cathartic. Cool. Now let's talk about Us and Pigs. This song cuts open the way that society reduces women to reproductive labor. It reminds me of how Sylvia Frederici argues in Caliban and the Witch that women's bodies became the means of production under capitalism. Yes, women become necessary for producing children, but the system doesn't care about the child until it fits a very narrow mold. Straight, white, masculine, and able-bodied at that. And that fits into reproductive futurism too. How society pretends to value children, but only the ones who uphold its norms. Lee Eldonham talks about how this contradiction and your lyrics capture it perfectly. Right, it's like the same people who are screaming about protecting life often won't lift a finger to protect actual living children. And then, the religious angle, murder in the name of a loving God. You're showing how oppression gets sanitized by morality. Classic patriarchy move. Propaganda wrapped in lace. Exactly. All right. performance time.
So pump us full sperm, put us in a barn. Us and pigs on a Mississippi farm. In 9 months we'll have a kid you won't care about. And if the kid's not straight, white male, we guarantee a living hell. Murder in the name of a loving God. Our women are cattle, there's blood on our kids. Are you being paid to not pay attention? Does it have to happen to your mother, to your sister, or your daughter for you to take it personal?
Your final question, does it have to happen to your mother, your sister, or your daughter, cuts through the abstraction. Sarah Ahmed writes that people only respond to injustice when it becomes intimate, when it touches their skin. Totally. People react when the harm becomes personal, not when it's systemic. I can agree with that. Now last, but certainly not least, one that has me screaming in the car every now and then. Everybody supports women. A painfully accurate look at how society loves women, until they do a little bit better than expected. Exactly. People support women until those women actually succeed, gain confidence, or take up space. Your lyrics perfectly illustrate what feminist theorists call internalized misogyny, the way patriarchal values get absorbed and reproduced, even by other women. This line, yanking muscle off a woman's bone, it's violent on purpose. It matches the violence of misogyny and social surveillance. Tearing down women becomes entertainment, like gladiatorial combat in an arena, but make it Instagram. Exactly. Also, the way that women get turned into competitors. Mulvey, Ahmed, and Gill talk about how femininity becomes a site of compulsory comparison. Your song basically says, we support women as long as they stay insecure enough to be non-threatening. Right? It's exhausting and absurd. So I made the imagery exhausting and absurd. Okay. Give us a performance.
I don't like your tone. I like how much you've grown. It's so boring to not be yanking muscle off of a woman's bone. Everybody hates that everyone hates the unrelatable. And I love to place two of them in the arena of the public's eye and try and get them to fight about something dumb. And we pick sides, cause staring at her too long made our life look like muted pastels. We'll love you if you just make us feel better about ourselves. And what a waste, what a shame. I was starting to like her, but now she got great. We'd never hate her to her face, but I hope she knows. She knows, she knows, she knows. And what a pain. We're just spit her name while she's turned the other side. We never told her to her face, but I think she knows. She knows, she knows, she knows. Everybody supports women till a woman's doing better than you. Everybody wants you to love yourself until you actually do. It was something about her hair so perfectly fallen. She was nice and smart and funny and got everything she wanted. She just charities and the most obnoxious thing about her popularity. She's too pretty for her own good. She's probably self-centered. We hate her and she's nothing. If everybody leaves her, then she had it coming.
This whole song feels like staring directly at the mechanics of a patriarchal competition culture. Yep, it's satire, but barely. Reality already writes the jokes for us. That's what I'm thinking too. Sophia, thank you so much for stepping in my questionable but comfortable little theater here and letting me analyze your work like a feral grad student hopped up on caffeine and structuralism. Anytime. I love a puppet-based feminist thesis. And everybody loves puppets. Thank you. And to everyone watching, if you ever feel like a doll or a pig or a woman the public supports, remember, we dismantle the system with string, sarcasm, scholarship, and 3 very, very, very good songs. I just released a new song too called Above the Neck. You should check it out. I just might have to check that out. Thank you guys for tuning in. Bye for now.